Hi everyone, this is Ms. Helms, and by the end of this video, you should be able to determine and apply the relationships among central angles. In this problem, we are asked to solve for the missing information in the diagram below. Because this diagram has a circle that contains a variety of radii and diameters, what we want to do is just fill in all of the measurements that we can and then see what information is left to actually solve for. So, taking a look, let's just start with HE. HE is a diameter. On HE, we have this arc here. We have arc HDE. And since HE is a diameter, we know that the measurement of arc HDE is 180 degrees. So, to solve for the missing measurement of arc DE, we can go ahead and take 180 degrees, or the measurement of the full arc, subtract what we know, which is 139 degrees. What we have left is going to be the measurement of arc DE, which is going to be 41 degrees. The measure of arc DE is 41 degrees. If we take a look, we can use the same process to solve for the measure of arc HG using DG now, segment DG or chord DG as a diameter. Or another way we can look at this is angle DCE and angle HCG are vertical angles. So since they're vertical angles, they have the same measurement. And since the arc is 41 degrees, we know that the central angle that opens up to that arc is also 41 degrees, which means that this angle on the other side is 41 degrees due to our vertical angles, which means that HG is also 41 degrees. Yes! Last but not least, we have GF to solve for, arc GF. Okay, so taking a look at GF, well, if again we focus on HE being our diameter, we are missing only one piece of that full semicircle, HGE. So to find that missing piece, we know a semicircle is 180 degrees. We currently know 41 degrees is HG, and we know 60 degrees is the measure of arc EF, because again, the measurement of the central angle is equal to the measure of the arc that it opens up to, or the arc that it intercepts. So when we take 180 minus 60 minus 41, we are left with 79 degrees. So therefore, the measure of arc GF is 79 degrees. Okay, so now that we have filled in the measurements of all of the arcs that we see in our diagram, we're going to see what are our questions, what are they asking us, and what do we have to solve for. So these should all say the measure of the arc. Apparently it didn't come up on my screen. I apologize, so I'm just going to fill those in. The first part says what is the measure of angle HCG. Well, HCG is this angle right here, and we found that to be 41 degrees. Next, the measure of arc FH. FH. So FH starts at F and goes through H. So the measure of arc FH is 41 degrees, which is the measure of arc HG, plus the measure of arc FG, which is 79 degrees. So 41 and 79 will give us 120 degrees. So the measure of arc FH is 120 degrees. The measure of arc FDG. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and erase the current marks I have on our circle, just so that we don't get too confused with everything on here. The measure of arc FDG. So FDG means that we start at F, pass through D, and go all the way around to G. So everything that I've currently have highlighted. So we have 60 degrees, plus 41 degrees, plus 139 degrees, plus 41 degrees. And we're going to add those all up. Another way that we can see it is that we can see the entire circle, and the only part that's currently missing from the circle, or the part that we're looking for, is the 79 degrees here. So we can take 360 and subtract the 79, or we can add all of these arcs together. Either way, we'll come up with the same answer, which is 281 degrees. Okay, and last but not least, we've got the measure of arc HEG. So again, I'm just going to erase the arc marks that I currently have, just so that we're focusing on the current one. Okay, so HEG. Again, that's telling us to start at H, pass through E, and end at G. So that's kind of what tells us which, do we go clockwise or counterclockwise, which way to head in the circle. So instead of adding up all of these arcs, this time I'm going to do what we talked about in the other, I'm going to do the opposite of what we talked about last time. So I'm going to subtract the only piece we don't want. The only piece of this circle that we do not want is that 41-degree arc, or the arc HG. So I'm going to take 360 degrees, because there are 360 degrees in a full circle, and I'm going to subtract that 41-degree arc, because we don't want that. That's not a part of it. And we are left with 319 degrees. So the measure of angle HEG is 319 degrees. You should get that if you were to add all of the arcs that we highlighted in orange, so 79 plus 60 plus 41 plus 139 degrees. See what you get. Nice work!